Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Rough Riders. Last week I was at my house in Austin trying to get my S2000 ready for a road trip. I'm going to be doing a road trip in it a few weeks. And so I thought I'd do the fluid changes on it and show you guys how to do some of that. So let's take a look at how to do the rear differential fluid on the S2000 and get that job done. Okay, tools you need for this job. A 23 millimeter wrench works really well to get the drain bolt off, or the fill bolt off, excuse me. A half-inch drive with a 24 millimeter socket for the drain bolt. Your gear oil, I'm using Mobil 1 synthetic 7590. Use whatever you prefer. Follow the specifications in the manual. I found that the Mobil 1 just seems to work really well for me. I use it in all my vehicles. I use it in my side-by-side and everything else, and it's always held up well. My S2000 I've taken out on tracks and everything, and this gear oil seems to work pretty well. It always comes out nice and clean and holds up well, no against any shearing forces. Then a pump will be really helpful because the shape of that conical bottle is really hard to get to the fill hole for the differential. So a pump will make your life make the job substantially easier. So that's what I've got set up for the tools for this job. Now my jack doesn't fit underneath the car because, as you know, the car just sits really low. So in order to get my jack underneath the car, I put a couple of 2x4s down on the ground, pull my front tires onto that. Then I've got enough clearance to get my jack under there and start jacking up the front end. To jack the front end up, I just put it underneath the cross member along the front. That's kind of the best place that I found to jack it up and start trying to jack it up one side at a time. And like most cars, you have a reinforced point right here that you can put your jack stands. And there's one front and back end on each side. Okay, so for a drain and fill on the rear differential, much like we saw on the transmission, we've got two bolts. We've got a fill bolt right here, and we've got a drain bolt right there. We're going to go ahead and pull the fill bolt first because we don't want to be in a position where we've already drained all the fluid out and we can't get the fill bolt off, and then we're stuck without any fluid in the differential, and then we're screwed. So we want to pull the fill bolt first, and then we'll pull the drain bolt and drain it out. Okay, using a 23 millimeter wrench, we're going to get up here and loosen up the drain bolt. And this is a 24. And that oil actually looks really good as well. The car hasn't been driven much since we've been up in Washington. So it's just been started and ran to keep the battery charged, so that looks good. So let me get set up to do the fill while we're draining this. We'll also go ahead and inspect the bolts and the crush washers and all that kind of stuff. So let's do that now. So we're looking at the threads. They look good. No stripping on the head. The crush washer, I forgot to get new ones when I was at the store, and so we're going to go with what we got on there. Copper one, looks okay. Not great. Head looks good. So yeah, those look good. So let's go ahead and see if it's done draining, and then we'll put the drain bolt back in and start filling it up. Okay, with the draining done, we're going to go ahead and put the drain bolt back in. Again, I don't have my torque wrench here, so you know, I don't have the torque specifications in front of me, and it wouldn't matter if I did because, like I said, I don't have my torque wrench. So I'm going to just have to do it by feel. But I will post the specs for the torque on the video so that you have that. You don't want to over tighten it. That should be good right there. Now let me grab my pump, and it should take right about a quart of gear oil. So let me get that in here and get it set up. And let's see, it's going to be the easiest way to get to the nut. It's right there. So set up like that. I'm going to fill it up right until it starts draining. It should start dripping here in a second. Alright, there we go. So now it's just starting to drip. So now we got the right amount of fluid. So it looked like it took about, I'd say, quart and like probably 1.1, 1.2 quarts. Okay, so we got down to that slow little drip that we needed. So I put the fill bolt back in, tightened it down, and we're done with this job.